Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Let's talk about the new EJ for a minute. First of all, how does everyone feel about the new EJ? Now, I wasn't there for the old EJ, so I'm pretty much starting from scratch. But I want to know how everyone else feels about the new EJ. Because I am really loving the new EJ so far. See, here's the thing. For me, in this character, like him, Kristen, these are the type of characters that know how to shake things up, how to cause some drama and some good fun and stuff like that. Like, they know how to do it in the right way. You know, and that's what I like. I know somebody was there saying as far as, they don't like certain, like boring characters and stuff like that, and I totally agree. But here's the thing. I also don't like annoying characters. Like Chanel. Chanel is a very, very, very annoying ass character. Now, yeah, she's shaking up, she's causing some drama and shaking up some stuff and whatever. But for me, it's like I don't even care because I'm just so annoyed every single time I hear that irritating ass woman's voice. Which, by the way, they changed an actresses, which really doesn't matter to me, but, just to let people know, they are going to be recasting her with someone else. So, there's that. But this new EJ is, he's not playing no games. He is not playing any games. When he woke up, when Sammy woke up, when Samantha woke up, because that's, everyone else in town calls her Sammy. He's just like, nope, I'm calling you by your full government name, Samantha. He's like, what's going on? She wakes up and he's like, so, I noticed that, we didn't, we didn't do it last night. You want to tell me about that? And, she tries to explain, like, I don't know, I think she was like, I'm still getting over the fact that, you pushed me away and yada, yada, yada. Just coming up with all sorts of excuses because this woman is a damn coward. Let's just be honest. She's a coward. But yeah, she comes up, with these excuses and stuff like that. Like, oh, just, you were so apart for so long, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, Sammy, or Samantha, because he likes to call you by your government name, so fine. I'll play along. Alright, Samantha. So, with that being said, he seems like, okay, cool. So, now we got past that. They start kissing again, and she's all like, oh, we gotta get breakfast. My parents are waiting for me. What I didn't realize is that Roman is, Samantha's dad. I thought it was John for some odd reason. Well, I learned something new. But yeah, so she's all like, oh, my parents making breakfast and stuff like that, and she runs on out of there. And he's like, so when they get out there, and by the way, John and Marlena is there talking about Lucas and the drama that's going on with them. Like what's up with them? Like, are they back together? They making out? What's going on? So John says something, and EJ's like, what was that? What's going on with Lucas? What does that have to do with Samantha? And they both were just like, oh, well, they were both there for Allie, just being good supportive parents, all that good stuff, yeah. So, it just seems like after that's done, there's one part when, I think EJ says something along the lines of, oh, well, we're going to be back in Salem, but I don't know if we're all on the same team. And you can just tell, it's just real awkward tension. There's real tension that's going on. You ever been in a conversation or just like walked in on the aftermath of an argument, and you're just there and you're eating or you're doing whatever, but you just feel that tension. That's what it was like for that whole scene. That's what EJ brought to the table for that whole scene, and I'm not gonna lie, I loved it. I mean, it was one of those things where it's like, it's like treading on thin ice with him. You know, they don't want to sit there and say the wrong thing. They don't want to sit there and cause some, you know, I'm actually about to call Samantha. Sammy's, you know, marriage or whatever. They don't want to sit there and say the wrong thing, and it's just awkward as tension. But it's not done with AJ. It's not done. It's actually just getting started. So after that, they go to Damaris' place, and you know, after Sammy gets her, you know, like goes to, you know, unpacking stuff. EJ gives some very choice and harsh words to Chad. I'm just like, damn, bro. First of all, he pretty much says that, you know, you lost the company because you pretty much couldn't keep it in your pants. And, you know, what's going on with you? I mean, he really laid into him, and I was just like, man, if I knew it was going to be this intense, I would have cracked over that bottle of wine, because this is getting good. I mean, he literally came in there and just, like, decimated Chad, and, well, I was very happy about that, because Chad was being a dick to, Gabby and Jake. I mean, he walked in and he was like, oh, looks like two dogs in heat. I'm sorry, excuse me? I'm just sitting there just literally thinking about that. Like, he just called them two dogs in heat. It's just one of those things where it's like, you know, even when I kind of agree with him on some levels, like with the whole Abigail thing, it's times like that that he just reminds me of how much of a dick he is. So, yeah, he was pretty much just really going at them. And he wasn't just going at them, he was going at Gabby, undermining her confidence in her relationship with Jake. Because, well, he doesn't like her, and, you know, Jake can pretty much just kind of kick rocks, so, you know, whatever. But yeah, he drops the hammer on Chad, and then after that, he was like, so, now that we got that out the way, let's team up and get rid of this quote-unquote grease monkey. Wow. EJ, why don't you say how you really feel? So, he pretty much wants to team up with Chad to get, Jake out the company, because he's like, yo, listen, my dad ran this company, and I'm not letting him run into the ground. Like, it's just us three. Because that's when Tony walks in. Tony's like, so what did I miss? I mean, he's like, it just warms my heart to sit there and see the Merrillmen, you know, just plotting someone's downfall. Like, wow. Okay, so it's pretty much like the Cassidines, except for just in full force. Okay, alright. I like it. But yeah, you know, at first Chad was like, oh, well, I want to sit there and work on my marriage, and, you know, EJ's like, well, where's your wife at? Oh, she's out of town. Oh, okay, so, like, what's stopping you? Like, I don't understand, where's the roadblock, bro? Like, what's good? But yeah, Tony comes in there, and, you know, Anna's like, oh, I don't want you to get back into the Namaro business, and, you know, I want to work on our marriage, and blah, 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 blah. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I know Chad wants to say something. I know he wants to say something like, you letting her run your life? You're a man. You're not just a man. You're a DeMaro. What are you doing? Like, he had that kind of look. He didn't say anything, but I know everybody in that room, probably including Anna, knew what he was thinking. So they walked around the rose garden, and you know, AJ's like, so you in or you out? And Chad's like, oh, well, just give me some time to think about it. He's like, alright, well, don't take too long, because I want him going, like, yesterday. Chad, I mean, EJ is, he's not holding back. I like it. I'm liking this new EJ. I am loving his accent. I always love that type of accent, just in general. Because he's the type of person that can sit there and just decimate you and just do it with class and style. And you're just like, you know, I really want to be mad at you right now, but you're just so damn elegant the way you said it. I just find it hard to be mad at you. Now, at some point, Sammy is, I guess, walking around the hallways, and Lucas walks in. Lucas is like, so, you stayed for me, right? I mean, you know, listen, I don't care what's going on. I don't care why the reason you're staying. You staying for me. So you know, let's do something. And Sammy's like, no, stand back. I don't want any of your shenanigans. Or she says something. And EJ walks out like, the hell is going on? You know, he just had that look like, yo, when he walks into the room, he's laying the hammer down. He was just like, yo, is there an issue? Because I see you looking at my wife like that. Like, what's good? So this should be great, and I'm not gonna lie, I am looking forward to it. I don't know how long EJ's gonna be planning on staying or whatever, but I am enjoying, and I know I've said this. I've been saying this before, like throughout the entire review, but I'm looking forward to more of EJ and him just dropping a hammer on people and whatever type of stuff he has going on between Lucas and Sammy. And Sammy is just disappointing the living hell out of me because she is just like, I mean, they called her Hurricane Sammy, but every time she's with EJ in his presence or anything like that, she folds like a damn pretzel. Like, I mean, come on, he calls her Samantha, like just Samantha. Everyone else calls her Sammy. He's the only person that calls her Samantha. You know, even when he was in the room, he was like, oh, Samantha, you know, I just don't know. And, you know, you got John and Marlene just kind of staying there with tension, like, yo, we always called her Sammy. Hell, all her friends and her enemies called her Sammy. Yeah, he's the only guy that's not there calling her Samantha, like she's luggage or something. So, but she's just, you know, a willing participant, so whatever, I guess. Now, one funny scene that I do want to sit there and talk about is, you know, when Kate is sitting there waiting. Well, Kate is sitting there talking to herself, and Anna walks in. And then Tony walks in. Tony walks in with lilies. And Kate's like, oh, they're so lovely that you brought lilies for me. And, you know, they're both just like, how do you know that they're lilies? Like, what's how do you know that? And, you know, she's like, oh, I can smell it and stuff like that. And that's when Anna's like, oh, I'm so sorry for being suspicious. Just, you know, so-and-so pretended they were blind. And Kate is just like, oh, well, you have to sit there and credit them for their genius of getting back at Kristen and John. And I'm like, Kate, you're an idiot, Kate. You're an absolute idiot. Not only did you just blurt out the fact that, you know, listen, I don't know how powerful lilies are, but it's like just the simple fact you just blurted out that there's lilies in the room and you supposedly can't see, and then you're sitting there giving props to someone who pretended they were blind, talking about how it was, you know, you're giving them props. Like, it's almost like you're screaming to get caught. And that's not enough. Because when Jake walks in, he picks her up, he takes her back to DeMero's, and Gabby is just kind of hanging out. She's there. I guess in Kate's room. And, you know, Kate's like, oh, hello, Gabby, or something like that. And she's like, what? How do you know I'm here? You can't see anything. And even Jake is just like, he has that look in his face like, I'm sorry, what? The expression on his face was just priceless, like, it's kind of funny because I could have swore that you were blind. And of course she tries to say some remark like, oh, I can smell her cheap perfume and yada yada yada. So they exchange words for a while. Gabby leaves. And, because Gabby was in there at first. And, you know, she's sitting there smelling Jake's coat because I don't really know why. I know why. You know what? I'm going to take that back. Take that back for two reasons. One, I had an ex that did that with me at one point. So I'm going to take that back. But two, you know, it's, you know, she really is head over heels for this guy. So So yeah, I give her that. But you know, with that being said, she's pissed, but she walks off. You know, she walks off. And then Kate says something that I feel like if the roles were reversed, people would have been looking at this man like he was disgusting. Wherein Kate was like, oh, well, I don't have my sight, but I still have my touch, my sense of touch. You know, make love to me. And Jake is just like, and I'm just like, yo, I feel like if the roles were reversed, that would come across as so much of a slimy scumbag move that you'd just be like, well, I mean, obviously it would be cancel culture at that point, but I was just like, wow, Kate, you are really just, really fully getting into the full swing of this, aren't you, sweetheart? Okay, I mean, listen, I'm still cool with her revenge, but I felt like that was just kind of scumbagish. Yeah, it was scumbagish. It was scumbagish. Lucas goes over to Romans because one, he needs a place to stay because he got kicked out by Gabby, and two, he pretty much just kind of venting about his feelings towards Sammy, talking about she was selfish. She never, she didn't really care about anyone else's feelings except for herself. And I love how he's not just saying that she's selfish, but it's not so much that she's selfish. It's just she's a coward. It's just that they're telling EJ, hey, listen, just to let you know, listen, I'm sorry that I did this before I told you, but I slept with him and we're done. Like, you kept me apart from you for far too long, and that ended that. Like, I mean, I felt like in some sort of ways, like, EJ actually kind of gave her a bit of an out when he was like, listen, I would understand if we don't have a marriage anymore because of how I treated you. But instead, she just made excuses for him. So now at this point, I understand exactly where Lucas is coming from. So he's upset, he's angry, he walks off, and that's when Roman was not there talking to Sammy. I'm talking to Marlena and John about how they may still have something going on, So just a lot of gossip or whatever between the parents. So yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like there was more, but I can't remember what it was. I know there was a lot of talk between Marlena and John, talking about Sammy and, whatever feelings she's feeling for Lucas and EJ, and then it was Marlena, John, and Roman that they're talking about pretty much the three of them. So, yeah, I feel like there's more to it, but I feel like that was actually about it. I feel like there might be more to this episode, but I just remember that stuff. And I just remember every time EJ come into the room, he was just really, like, shaking things up in the best way possible. Now, I did see a little bit of the promo for Days. And, the first part was Paulina Smith saying, quote unquote, I slept with your father, to Lonnie, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, what? I was like, wait, what? Now, first of all, whatever made her say that, this must have been during an argument. Okay, this must have been during an argument, because there's no way you're going to sit there and tell me that does not come across as hella disrespectful and hella gross. Like, I would never want to hear some woman sit there and say, oh, I slept with your dad. Like, first of all, gross. Second of all, you told me that. Why? So, yeah, I didn't see the rest of the promo, but I just remember seeing the first bit of that, and I was like, and she didn't just say it. She said it with sass and a bit of an attitude. So, I'm just wondering, what the hell happened? Anyway, with that being said, I think that's actually going to do it. Thank you for watching. Be safe. I will see you in the next video.